I want to set the record straight. Learning these advanced and common C1 idioms will help you do two things. You will build your vocabulary as well as improve your overall fluency by having a more natural way of speaking. So let's begin with an idiom that I just mentioned, to set the record straight. This means to write or say something in order to make the true facts known. So it's really a great way to emphasize the fact that you want to explain the truth, or at least tell someone what you believe is the truth. Now, you may also use this idiom with the verb put, to put the record straight. But as you can see, it's overwhelmingly more common to use the verb set, to set the record straight. When pronouncing this idiom, it's pretty simple and straightforward. There are some overlapping sounds with the final stop T in set and the voice TH in the. So your tongue is going to be behind your top front teeth, and you're just going to transition from one sound right into the next. Set the record straight. It allows for a much easier and smoother transition from one word to the next. Now, I want to set the record straight once again. If you are someone who enjoys building your vocabulary, then I can help. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, that way I can become your teacher. My name is Wes, the channel is Interactive English. It's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. And throughout the lesson, I'm going to tell you the meaning of each idiom. I'll talk about how it's used in context, as well as give you a variety of examples. And if needed, I will talk to you a little bit about the pronunciation. Now, I always try to strike a balance between giving you a lot of useful information while not overwhelming you at the same time. And to strike a balance is the next idiom that I want to teach you. This means to achieve a state in which two things occur in equal or proper amounts or have an equal or proper amount of importance. And often you're going to follow this idiom with the preposition between, to strike a balance between two things. So you may need to strike a balance between work and family. You may need to strike a balance between screen time and social activities. You may need to strike a balance between how much you make and how much you spend. So this is really a great idiom to tell someone that you're trying to satisfy the need for both things instead of just satisfying the need for one thing. You need to strike a balance. When pronouncing this phrase, there is some linking that may occur. We can link the final consonant sound in strike with the beginning vowel sound in and it's almost like we're moving that consonant sound over. Strike, to strike a balance. Try to listen for it.
We need to strike a balance between your needs as investigators and the First Amendment rights of the sun and its source.
The color of anger, rage, but also the color of the heart, of love. This strikes the perfect balance between the two.
Now, perhaps you are trying to strike a balance between learning English and all the other things you have going on in your life. And if that's the case, then I have a great idea. So allow me to set the record straight. You can take classes and improve your English fluency with Lingoda, who is the sponsor of today's lesson. Lingoda is an online language school where you can learn English, business English, Spanish, German, or French. And Lingoda Flex is a great way to develop your language skills if you are someone who has a busy schedule or you would just like to learn at your own pace. So it's exactly what it says it is. You have flexibility. You can take one-on-one lessons if you would like a little more individual attention, or for social learners, you can take small group classes. Let me show you how easy it is to start speaking English. After you choose your subscription plan and log into your account, you go straight to book a class. You can choose the level of the class you would like to take, and as you can see, classes are available 24/7, which allows you to fit these lessons into your busy schedule. You can even look for classes searching by date, as well as the exact time you would like to have the lesson. You choose your class, and once you confirm, before you know it, you are in a lesson with a native speaking teacher. I have been taking some classes in Spanish. You can see me right there, and the teachers are great. They're friendly, they're knowledgeable, and I've been given some excellent feedback. So if you would like to improve your English skills, click on the link down below in the description. You can get up to 35% off your first month of a subscription. Or if you'd like to try out Lingoda first, you can get a 7 10-day trial for free and take 3 group classes or 1 one-on-one class. So check out my unique link down in the description, choose a plan, and you will be on your way to taking your fluency to the next level. Let's get back to our advanced and common C1 idioms. The next one that I have for you is to not think twice. This means to do something immediately without considering whether or not it's a good idea. So there are 2 things I want to point out with this idiom. The first thing is that you're often going to use this to talk about something in the past that you did without thinking about it. You did not think twice. The other thing is that you may often follow this idiom with the preposition about. You did not think twice about something. So to give you a better idea as to how this idiom is used in context, I have some news headlines for you. Teen star Tallis Magno, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, did not think twice about joining NYCFC. I didn't think twice, man says, after rescuing motorists who fell into sea. I did not think twice about swallowing capsules to smuggle drugs to Malta. Now, one thing I want to say is that you may hear people use this in the affirmative, telling you, hey, think twice, which would mean that you should think about something before doing it. And in this case, I guess I would say you should think twice before you decide to smuggle drugs to any country. But of course, you should not think twice about hitting that like button, so please, you can go ahead and do that. The next idiom that I want to teach you is at short notice, or you could say on short notice. This idiom is used to say there is only a short time before something happens. And you may use it when talking about something in which generally you need a little more time to plan, but it's coming soon. So if I asked you to write a 20-page essay and give it to me tomorrow, you may say, look, I can't do that on such short notice. You need more time. Or if I tell you they were engaged, but then got married on such short notice. It's also used to say that you did something immediately after someone asks. So I could tell you, thank you for coming at such short notice. One thing I want to point out is that you may often use this idiom with such, at such short notice, or on such short notice. When pronouncing this phrase, and this is more specific to the American accent because I am from the United States, the T in notice, I am going to pronounce that as a flap T. It's going to sound more like a soft D. This is because that T comes between 2 vowel sounds, notice. At such short notice, on such short notice, let's listen to some more examples.
And I don't know where to find a replacement on such short notice.
First, I want to thank all of you for putting together those proposals for Pakistan on such short notice.
Bless you for coming at such short notice.
I'm Trixie. Thank you for coming at such short notice, Trixie.
Wait and see. This means to wait and discover what will happen. And often you're going to use this in a couple of different contexts. So the first one would just be to be patient, that you need to wait and, well, let's find out what the results are. If I were to say, we don't know how your body is going to react to the medication. We'll just have to wait and see. Or I could use it in the context of really expressing confidence that I'm right, and I'm telling you, like, look, just wait. You will eventually see that I was correct. If I were to say, the United States is going to win the next World Cup. You just wait and see. And I just have that confidence that my prediction, whatever it is that I'm saying, is going to be true. For pronunciation, it may seem simple, wait and see, but I'm not really going to say it like that. I would say wait and see. So what's going on? And in spoken English is often reduced to just N. And with the American accent, when you have the T followed by an N, that T may get changed to a glottal T. So think about these words right here and just listen for that glottal T when I say mountain, certain, kitten. The sounds coming from your throat, waitin', wait and see. I want you to try to listen for that glottal T.
Just wait and see.
You have to wait and see.
Wait and see.
Oh, yeah? Wait and see.
Oh, you just wait and see.
The next idiom is to take something at face value. This means to accept something as it appears rather than studying it more closely. So really, you would be accepting something as true even though you don't really know if it's true. Perhaps you don't come to work and you tell me that you're sick. Well, I may not know that that's true or not, but I will take your word at face value. And in this case, your word just means whatever it is that you're saying. To give you another example, I would love it if you write to me in the comments. And you're probably thinking, okay, yes, I will do that. I don't know if it's true. I want to believe you. So once again, I will take your word at face value. Here are some more examples.
This is a troubled man. I mean, we can't take everything he says at face value.
Okay.
So that's it? You just accept my answer at face value? Why?
How the hell did we miss that?
Apparently CIA took the stats at face value.
Then we have the best of both worlds. This means that you get to enjoy the advantages of two very different things at the same time. So I could say that you get the best of both worlds when you work very little but make a lot of money. Or perhaps you get the best of both worlds when you don't study at all but you get perfect grades. Or maybe you get the best of both worlds when you eat a lot of junk food, unhealthy food, fast food, whatever, and your doctor tells you that you're in great health. So you can use this idiom to accurately describe such a situation. It's the best of both worlds. When pronouncing this phrase, I just want to point out that more linking may occur. We can link the final consonant sound in best with the vowel sound in of, best of, the best of both worlds.
The goal, of course, is to be like you. All our strengths, of our weaknesses. You got the best of both worlds.
It's half keyboard, half guitar.
So is it a guitar or a keyboard?
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds, so...
I put the brains and the brawn together. And now look at me. Best of both worlds.
The next idiom, to be in the public eye. This means to be famous and written about in newspapers and magazines or seen on television and in movies. So really, celebrities, athletes, these are people who are generally in the public eye. So to help you better understand how this idiom is used in context, I thought it would be fun to read some celebrity quotes using this idiom. So Taylor Swift says, "It's dangerous to read the internet about yourself when you're me or when you're anyone in the public eye." Ricky Henderson, "People recognize me, but if you've been in the public eye as long as I have and people don't recognize you, I feel bad about myself." I don't know why Ricky feels that way. In case you don't know who Ricky Henderson is, he was a famous baseball player a long time ago. The next one, "I am not a big fan of Mike Tyson. I almost idolized him for what he did in the ring. He was such a great fighter, but his behavior out of the ring, he needed to realize he was in the public eye, and there is a responsibility." Well said, Tommy Morrison. One thing I want to add about this idiom is that even though you can say that people are in the public eye, you could also say that people are out of the public eye. For example, if I were to say, even though some celebrities are in the public eye, they often hope to keep their children out of the public eye. For pronunciation, you guessed it, more linking may occur. We can link the final consonant sound in public with the beginning vowel sound in I, public eye, to be in the public eye. Next is the idiom, get a grip. And I say it like that because it means to make an effort to control your emotions and behave more calmly. And somebody just tells you as like a command, get a grip.
Sarah, get a grip! Get a grip!
And now it's going to ruin Sam's life as well.
Get a grip.
What's a biopsy? Get a grip. You're right, T.
Or you may follow this with the preposition on and a reflexive pronoun. And because you're typically talking to another person, you would say, get a grip on yourself.
All right, okay, McFly. Get a grip on yourself. It's all a dream.
What about Jim? We can't just leave him down there.
Please get a grip on yourself, Doctor.
You've got to get a grip on yourself, Stewie. Put Rupert and Chris out of your head.
For pronunciation, there are two things I want to point out. First, that final T in get. Because I'm from the US, I am going to pronounce it as a flap T that I can then link with the vowel sound in the article get-a. I can also link the final consonant sound in grip with the beginning vowel sound in on, grip on. So we have two phrases that we can link together. I'll say it slowly. Get a grip on yourself. Now, I want to say it a little faster. I want you to repeat after me. Get a grip on yourself. Good. The next idiom, off the record. This is used to indicate that what someone is saying should not be publicly reported. And this is an idiom that you're probably not going to use it that often, but it is certainly one that you will hear if you watch movies and TV shows. So really this idiom may be used in the context of one person asking questions and the other person, perhaps they want to be honest, but they just don't want the information to be publicly reported. So perhaps someone is interviewing a famous celebrity who is in the public eye, and they ask, did you get along well with the other actors? And you say, yes, we got along well, but off the record, there were a lot of issues. Please keep in mind that just as something may be off the record, it can also be on the record, in which case it is okay to be publicly reported.
Do code reds still happen on this base?
You want to ask me about code reds on the record, I tell you I discourage the practice of off the record. I tell you it is an invaluable part of close infantry training.
Then we have the idiom up to speed. This means all the latest information about an activity or subject. And often you're going to use this idiom with the verb get, to get someone up to speed, or the verb bring, to bring someone up to speed. We hired a math tutor to work with your daughter so we can get her up to speed. Or he missed the meeting because his flight was delayed. Could you please bring him up to speed? For pronunciation, the only thing that I want to point out is that weak, unstressed to, because when it's unstressed, it may sound a bit more like it has that schwa sound, to, up to speed. To bring someone up to speed or to get someone up to speed. Again, just listen for it.
Jump in, and then when this calms down, maybe we can grab a cup of coffee.
I'd love to. Be a chance to get you up to speed before I start. I will find you.
Get me up to speed?
It's a miracle he survived this long. Better bring him up to speed.
I'll need the copywriters and Sal in here. Get me up to speed.
Oh, it's Dante. Bring me up to speed.
And then we have rule of thumb. This refers to a practical approach and way of doing something based on experience. And often you may use this idiom with the word general and talk about a general rule of thumb. So let's look at some general rules of thumb in business. You should overpromise and No, I got that wrong. That is not a rule of thumb. You should underpromise and overdeliver. Another rule of thumb is that you should set benchmarks for reaching goals. And another rule of thumb is that you should sell what people will buy. Now we can get a little silly and have fun with comics and memes. I like this one. All should be under me. That is certainly the rule of thumb. Or I rule 'cause I has thumb. And that cat really does look like he has a thumb. And I don't know why they said I has. I think just being playful and having fun. And finally, if it tastes good, don't eat it. Yeah, that could be a general rule of thumb. And sometimes I feel like that's what my doctor is trying to tell me. Here are some more examples.
My bannerman would think I'm a fool for coming in. If I was your hand, I would have advised against it. General rule of thumb. Stark men don't fare well when they travel south.
After a heart attack, rule of thumb is, if you can climb a flight of stairs, you can have sex.
What to you is a large crowd?
Any group big enough to trample me to death. General rule of thumb is 36 adults or 70 children.
Now for a little review. I hope that I was able to strike a balance between giving you helpful information as well as making it easy to follow and understand. Because building vocabulary, I think a general rule of thumb is that you don't want to overwhelm people with too many words. And of course, it's always good to review, just like we're doing right now. I believe that you will take my word at face value. And of course, when it comes to using idioms, I think people often worry that they're going to make a mistake. And what I would recommend is that you don't think twice about using these idioms and practice using them in casual conversation. I think it's always going to help. And if you make a mistake, just don't worry about it. Over time, it's all going to come together. You just wait and see. Now, I need to start wrapping up the lesson. I know that may be upsetting to hear, so I would just tell you, you got to get a grip on yourself. But if you want to continue building your vocabulary and just bring yourself up to speed, feel free to watch another video lesson. They're entertaining, they're informative. It's the best of both worlds. And if you enjoyed this lesson and learned something new, please hit that like button. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.